Hello, hello. I'm super excited to have this conversation today. It's been percolating for a couple days. We're going to talk about how powerful imagery and metaphor are on your healing embodiment journey. So there's going to be 3 parts to this conversation. The first, we're going to really dive into why it's so potent and powerful. The second part, we're going to talk about kind of how you can begin to use this tool right away. There's going to be 2 exercises to try. And then at the end, there's going to be kind of a little experiential meditation. So if you want to stick around for that, that'll be right at the end. So first and foremost, why is imagery so potent? If we think about our subconscious mind, what we know about the brain is that anything in the subconscious is actually disconnected from the language centers in our brain. So what is not conscious does not understand language. We literally cannot reach it with our language, our conscious mind, our prefrontal cortex. So anything in our subconscious really speaks the language of imagery, of visualization, of metaphor. So we can think of this as a translator between the conscious and subconscious mind and the body, because the body is not within our conscious awareness, right? The body speaks in sensation, in metaphor, in visualization. So starting to understand that using imagery and visualization as a translator, we start to see how powerful it can be in connecting our body, our sensation, to our subconscious and then into our conscious mind. And if you have ever had a psychedelic experience or have used plants or substances medicinally, take a moment to reflect on what was so potent about that experience. I bet it was nonverbal, right? There was sensation, there was imagery, it was experiential. And that's really what we're getting at on our healing and embodiment journey, right? We were so aware of what we know, it's what we don't know that is so impactful. And so 2 ways that you can begin to use this right away. The first is active visualization. That is where we are consciously choosing to visualize something. And this has always been popular in terms of, like if you're doing a sport, you're going to visualize yourself winning. And there are studies around the potency of that. And this is why, because we're actually putting that information into our bodies. We are translating it into our cellular experience. And then the other way, which I work with a lot in sessions, is passive. That is where we are opening ourselves up to receiving information from the body. What's cool about our body is that we think so much more information is traveling from our brain to our body, but there's actually more information traveling from our body to our brain. That is why this passive piece is so important, because when we can open ourselves up to receive information through that translation of imagery, right, we start to have a way of communicating what our body is experiencing. I love this stuff. So fun. And so if you are comfortable in a space where you can just drop in for a minute or 2, it can take you through a little experiential visualization here. We're going to start by using that active technique of visualization and then kind of open up into the passive realm. So if you want to just take a breath. Good. I want you to recall an experience in your life where you felt a lot of resistance. And this can be whatever first comes to your mind, something that you're feeling a lot of resistance or big emotions to. And I want you to imagine, to visualize yourself kind of being submerged in a river. Good. Feeling the flow of the water around you. Feeling yourself start to be carried down this river. Imagining, visualizing what this looks like. Good. And just pay attention to what you're noticing there in your body. Good. And if you want to close your eyes and that feels accessible to you, you can do that now. We're going to really open you up to receiving some information here from the field of your body. So recalling the same situation again, Good. Asking your body what it wants you to see or to know. And you might have some resistance to this pop up, just allowing that to be there, remaining open to any thoughts, feelings, sensations, or imagery that comes through for you. Good. Just wiggling your fingers and toes, coming back. Beautiful. I would love to hear what your experience was and create a conversation around this, because I think it's such an amazing tool that we don't utilize in the ways that we can and should and want to on our healing and embodiment journey.